won't say bikepacking, but it's kind of there. My first one was at the Angel Islands.
Yes, the camps.
That's a
Yeah.
camp, and that's like a good beginner bikepacking.
And how long ago was this?
This was, I would say, at least 7 years ago.
Okay, damn. Yeah.
So, at that long, I've been doing it constantly every year. I've been going outside pretty much every year.
And so every time you go back to these, because I notice it's not just biking, but like uh, the adventure element in your, like, every time you go back, what is it that you're seeking, or is it just to, like, for me, when I go to nature, it's to re-energize or rejuvenate my soul.
Right.
But, like, could you, like, what's some of the...
For me, it's like more of like I said, it's like more like a therapy to me.
Sure.
As we are living in a world of, there's lots of people around here, there's different cultures, different environment, different habits. So you're basically taking all that in your brain in city life.
True.
And try to get out that. You need to do something. You need to be outside more. You get that relaxation. Like, let's say if you're doing hiking, you're gonna enjoy the nature, the bird sound, the water, all the stuff. Similar thing with the biking as me. Like when I'm going, I get this enjoyment, relaxation that
you can't replicate this
right,
elsewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. And so also also as a test of one's athleticism, because I think biking is, you have to be reasonably fit, right? You can't be.
True.
So, like, could you talk about, like, how it builds endurance? For me, at least, when I do these climbs, man, it kicks my ass. Just the other day, I was in Marin. I was doing the mirror loop. It's like 10 miles, man, but it kicked my ass. Like, oh my goodness. So I was gonna, like, what do you think about that?
Long story short, when I was in the school, I was super into sports. I was school team with basketball, track and field. So my background, I have like a big like sports. Like I have to do something. If I don't do something, I'm gonna be like, okay, like shit, what I'm gonna do? My body hates me if I stay a long time.
You have to be active.
I have to be active. So I think that's why I've been really good with my stamina and building up there. Biking is challenging. It's period. It's like you need to be really active on that. Your heart beats up, and it's really good for your heart too because you need to constantly breathing on that, especially when you're going up, like you said.
Oh man. No, just because recently, again, I'm super new to biking, so I'm a noob, man, compared to you.
Right.
It's just, if you just watch the Tour de France, right? It just happened, and 22-year-old Egan Bernal.
Right.
Man, he crushed it. And I was like so inspired, and even I watched Giro 2 years ago, because I knew, I had some friends in Italy, and Tom Dumoulin, I can't say his name right, but his climbs, and those are just, it's crazy, man. And like, I was gonna ask you, like, from when you started and now that you've been, it's like more than 7 years, have you gotten considerably stronger? Like what's a part of ride you enjoy the most?
Definitely. It's not just riding. Like bike, you do need to go like constantly at the gym, work out your legs, do some spin class. That definitely help you out.
You said spin class?
Spin class.
Interesting.
It gives you your heart to beat, train your heart. And once you've done that, it's then the biking, any bike, like road bike or mountain bike, it's the same style of riding. One is on the trail and one is on the road.
Yeah.
But you just have to like know how to breathe that when you're climbing. That's the main part.
And what do you think about the overall, like, so you're an adventure cyclist, so just the culture around it, and how do you enjoy the culture?
California, I'd say heads up to that. The culture is big.
Oh,
But if you go to like some other states, like recently I was in New York, and cycling culture is not welcome over there.
oh,
much.
what? Why?
It is tough. I'd say cycling in New York is tough.
Just like
Just-
drivers being dicks,
Yeah,
or
yeah. They will push you. They will push you like they will like the shoulder of yours is not wide. You need like a pretty wide shoulders
Yeah.
for to cross it. But I was in New York and I was like hats off to all those riders.
yeah,
But in the Bay, like man, loving it.
absolutely.
Culture is so wide.
So even like, so I guess you're more about acceptance, and I guess we could transition to safety and stuff. Like, do you feel
Right.
safe riding around, or?
Yes, around I would say East Bay, yes.
Okay.
But in the city like San Francisco, there's a challenge there.
Yeah.
I heard lots of things about,
Me too.
but I mean, look, if you overall in California, in the Bay, it's I would say safe.
Okay.
I'm not going to compare to Oregon or Portland's, which is a different environment and they're big.
Isn't Portland like one of the biggest biking communities,
Correct.
right?
Yeah. But in the Bay, I'm like privileged to ride up here, and I felt more safe up here too, compared to like other states.
That's yeah. Like, who was doing, like, if you did like probability studies, and they were saying how the likelihood of getting hit on a bicycle is apparently similar to being, even if you're a pedestrian, right? So I don't know. Do you think that sounds about right, or?
It's about right, yeah.
And you just have to, because I mean, as a rider myself and also a car driver, sometimes bike riders can be dicks, man.
It is
Like
true.
literally riding in the center of the. Come on, if
It
you're not
is true.
not driving, like riding that fast, just, like, yield the lane, right?
Yeah, I totally agree
Ooh,
with that.
right. So
That's why our the cycle community, we're trying the best to words out to the drivers like, hey, not all cyclists are dick.
yeah, absolutely not. Yeah,
There are
We got-
some- I'm the cool
Passang in the house, man.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah, yeah.
But yes, we are. Every time when not just me, my other cyclist friends, we talk about this. Like every ride, not just like every ride we go outside, we just talk about this. It's like, hey, look at this, like cyclist, like he just ruined the culture of cycling, and that's why lots of drivers hates that. And I totally agree with this.
That's interesting that you mentioned that. So even like because you're a lot more into the culture, and even you guys are okay with calling out like shitty behavior
Right.
in cyclists.
Yeah, we like sometimes we educate the cyclist like who's being dick about like doing that and that, and just like, hey, we are also riders. Like, just be careful what you, because there are some like drivers will not be like, hey, I hate you, cyclist. Well, you met one cyclist and you're just thinking that all the cyclists are dick, but not that.
Yeah, you can't
Sure.
generalize. Isn't because like like yourself, do you commute on your bike as well, or?
Yes.
So because I know a lot of, like, as for myself, I only use it strictly for riding
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to commuting. So, but a lot more and more since in America, even in Barcelona, I don't know if it's very
Yeah.
bike friendly. They actually have a whole incentive. If you go on one of their big avenues, like they count how many bikes have passed,
Correct.
and if it crosses a certain number, the city actually donates. Like there's an incentive. So I can see how there's a big push for more and more cities trying to encourage more bike riding and health, just for all these beautiful reasons.
Right.
But it's like, how would you like watch? Like, how do you balance someone with just commuting and someone just riding for fun, or someone doing both? Do you have any thoughts on that? Or not even balance, just like, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I know some, like you say, you were just riding for like your fun or like your weekend rider, and there are some like avid cyclists who do back and forth commute, and then when they're off, they go outside. I feel a person who's doing a lot of like commuting, they have lots of like a broader thoughts
Absolutely.
than just a fancy rider who owns like what 5Gs or whatever, and they're kind of dick.
Yo, okay. I guess I'm also in that camp.
There are some like I met some of those riders. Like I said, there are some, not all of it. There are some riders like that who are like, yeah, dude, I own.
No, because you know how in gym and fitness there's this, I mean, because of Instagram and all that, everyone's trying to flex, but
Yeah.
it's like, you know, Lululemon, like all these high-end. So even in biking, there's these fancy brands and getting the.
True.
So what's like how does, like, if you could talk a little about how does one even start building their bike, and what's a good budget to spend, where to buy it, and stuff like that. Like.
Right. So I would say if you are a commuter and you're looking for like a decent price, you can definitely get some used bike. If you are like just to commute and your commute is not that long, then you can literally spend like $400 on the bike.
That's still quite pricey, man.
I mean, like when you look at the market these days,
Oh, okay.
the 400 is like going price.
Oh my, and that's entry level.
That's an entry level.
Oh, and is that a proper like a race kind of like a with gears?
It has a gear. It's I would say more of like an upright commute style, where you don't have to like hunch more down. It's more commute upright style.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot more comfortable too if you're commuting. But if you need one bike and you are gonna commute back and forth, but you still want to ride on weekends, then. But depends on what kind of terrain you are familiar with that. Like if you are a pavement rider or like a road rider, then I would say get a road bike. With that, then you can carry a messenger bag or a backpack on your shoulder.
Sure.
But then if you are the new term they call gravel grinder.
Gravel grinder. What is that?
So it's like a mix with the road geometry. So it's like a more drop bars, but you have a little bit of a wider tires than a road bike.
Okay.
So you can you can go on the gravel, but still you can go on the road. So that's what the price is like. I mean, you could get
Just
like I said, like $500 or $400,000 on that.
Yeah, someone for 25 grand, man. I was like, what bike is that?
Yeah.
But so, and where's a good place to go buy these bikes? Like Craigslist, or go to a store? Like, what do you?
I would highly recommend going to stores compared to Craigslist. I mean, it is like you can get a good price on that, but your main concern is going to be frame. If the frame is cracked and you not notice that, you are like screwed.
How do we notice a crack in the frame?
Like I said, you have to like go through each of those top tube and down tube. You have to like go through each of those and look really carefully. As in a bike shop, if you take that to the bike shop and say, hey, can you see if this bike is
Okay,
then they will check on it. But if you go to like a bike shop and you're buying a used bike, usually what they do is any retail bike shop, when somebody returns a bike, the bike shop has to go through each gear, make sure these are rideable.
Yeah.
So you have like liability there too.
Sure.
If you're going to Craigslist,
Yeah.
your liability is like on your wrists.
Absolutely.
So you just, and also it depends on the budget too. Like if you are really short in the budget, then that's what it is. But if you all need like a good safety bike, so that if anything happens, you can claim them. Like, hey, you guys sold me this. Why?
Yeah.
So that's what it depends on it. So if you're looking for like a really cheap bike but don't care that much, then Craigslist is there.
Oh, okay.
But if you are looking for, I would say like good, last decent years, I would highly recommend going to a bike shop.
So it's almost sounds like you get what you pay for.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
And would you say generally the industry is pretty honest? Like if someone does not know anything about bikes, walks into REI or like sports basement, and they're not gonna like rip you off and stuff.
No, they as I've worked there for almost 8 years, so I know like what they do, and we basically when somebody comes in, walks in our building and say, "Hey, I need a bike,"
Sure.
we ask those qualified questions about like why you need a bike, what's the purpose on that, and what's your goal on that. Those are 3 main questions that we ask them. And based on that, we'll let them know that, hey, this is the bike that you need. And we'll give you a price range of how much you're going to spend it. So if he has a budget, it's like, hey, I have a $1,500 that I'm going to spend on this bike. It's like, there you go. So lots of like cycle shop, not just REI, like if you go to like other bicycle shop, there are some cycle shop will probably give you a good hint on like what are you looking for. Just
Sure.
go through that straight path. Because otherwise there are lots of internet these days. You
Yeah.
can go left and right or straight. Because there's so many things that you have to put in your brain. But going to a shop, it gives you like a straight path of like what are you looking for.
Yeah, I know. You know, I have to acknowledge that every time I've been into REI or Sports Basement or in most bike stores, the customer service is stellar. It's amazing, and especially REI. I'm a member myself for many years, and you guys really go above and beyond with your customer service,
Right.
man. Thank you for that. Yeah. So let's just. I want to ask you about like, do you have any crazy, like fun bike stories? Like since you've been riding all these years, man.
Actually a lot, but it's not, I would say crazy, but fun.
Yeah, just anything fun.
I'd say most of the California National Forests, they're free, right? Like if you go to any national forest, but if you go to a park, they can't let like bike campers are not allowed.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that.
if you go to national forests, any California national forests, it's free. So you can ride, pack it up, and then go on there. I've been going on trips.
Can I just ask why in like national parks bikes are not allowed? That's weird.
The thing with that is there's lots of humans there.
Ah, okay. It's like
Liability and
Ah.
all that stuff. That's my guess.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure about it, but that's my guesses. But if you go to national forests, any like backcountry national forest, there's few there. So it's a lot more easier to ride in. You're not gonna get like hit by something.
yeah. No, but and please go on, man. About what are you gonna share earlier?
So I'm gonna be last couple of months. I was planning a trip up Central California, which is on Stanislaus National Forest.
Damn
We'll be
nice.
going on for I'd say 4 days. There will be lots of water holes. Gonna love that water holes.
I know, nice man.
There are some camp that I've done that before. This time, last couple years, I've done it with a different month. It was challenging, but this month it's going to be a different, I would say, different weather. Last year was like kind of more challenging. There was tons of snow.
Ooh, when did you go?
It was, I believe, October or September.
Stanislaus is before Yosemite, right? Is that?
Yeah, it's
Kind
like a Tahoe National Forest.
Okay.
It's a close. It's a, I would say Sierra Nevada.
Sure, yes.
Yeah. That last year we had a good snow and, boy, kicked my ass on that.
I know, man.
Well, it was like it was high altitude and there was hot, but there was still snow out there. And my bike was, I'm short, and of course my bikes are like short, like small, and all the gears are on there, and then just every time I'm like dragging it, the snows are on me.
Were you like drenched?
Oh man, I almost knocked myself, and my buddy was like, hey, can you fetch me water? That's how I was. I just laid down and I was exhausted.
Yeah, man, in the elements out there, people think like, it's all nice and fun in nature, but you can die, man.
Yeah, you
like,
can literally die.
Yeah.
That's why I highly recommend, if you're doing those kind of things, always have a partner with you, just in case. If anything, one of them, like one of you guys, like got injured or something, and you can like communicate with the other like station there. But this year, we looked at the weather. There's no snow.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I know, man.
I love snow, by the way, but when you're riding, packing up everything, man, it's totally different.
So when are you planning to go? Like what month?
Boy, Saturday.
Oh shit, you.
Like,
Nice.
I haven't I almost done, but I haven't packed all the stuff. But Saturday we're leaving, and it's like 2.5 hours drive from here.
How big is the crew? Like how many guys are?
3 Musketeers.
Nice.
That's our group name.
That's sweet, man.
That's
And
so 3 dudes, just out in the backcountry, smell the woods, and then just say hi to the nature.
yeah. And this is for like how many days are you guys going?
I would say give and take like 4 days.
Nice, man. Enjoy yourself. Yeah.
Well, if you don't see me, then you know exactly where am I.
I know, man. And just be safe out there too, bro. But all the heat wave and stuff that's going. Although from Friday night or Saturday, it starts to cool off, right?
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
That's a good thing. But we already, like I said, we already have. I already have training how to beat up those heat and all stuff. But like I said, humans makes mistake. Right? Even
Absolutely.
if you train, you got mistake. Even if you pro, you still make mistake.
Agreed.
So there's already had a plan. So hopefully it will stay like that.
Can I ask you, how do you pack for these trips?
We pack, we talk to friends, we talk as and then it's hey, what's your plan next 2 months, and then we'll be like, hey, do you want to do this? And then once we figure out which forest or whatever we're going, and then we sit down, plan on the map, on the topo map,
Sure.
and then just make sure this route is okay, how high it is. But doing that, like I said, when I first did my trip, I would say if you are looking for that, start doing short, a day, night, or 2 nights at Angel Islands or a trip like that. It's perfect for that.